Hey everybody, this is S. Anthony Thomas. It's the S. Anthony Thomas Show. Once again, it's just going to be me and you, because apparently for some reason you like it when it's just me talking to you. And I'll be honest with you, I'm listening to my voice right now. I don't blame you. In fact, I'm rubbing my own buttocks right now. I don't know why I said that. Moving on. You know what's really weird? You guys seem to get a kick out of me talking about the mighty Toyota Camry and how it's going away. Well, tomorrow, technically, and I believe tomorrow morning is the day where I hand over the keys and the paperwork to the mighty Toyota Camry to the new owner. I have the keys sitting in front of me right now. I have all of the paperwork all taken care of right in front of me right now. And I'll be just handing over the mighty Toyota Camry to its new owner. And it's weird. It's weird because I have a better car in front of me, right in front of the house. It's a better car. It's a newer car, right? It's just a fantastic thing to be driving. And there was nothing wrong with the Camry as far as, it's sucking, but it's just that it was time for me to get a new one I'm going to start doing stand up again. So I needed to get something a little more reliable for the longer trips that I'm going to be taking. So I needed to do that. But it's really weird, the finality of knowing that the car is gone. And here's the funny thing. Once again, as if you listen to the last episode, it's actually going to a relative. And it's really weird, man. You become emotionally attached to a car, right? And then you hand it over to a relative, man. It reminds me of people that are the foster dogs, because how emotionally attached you become to an animal, right? And just imagine you have a dog and the dog's running around your house and the dog's a great dog. Maybe the dog was mistreated or something like that. Maybe the dog had abandonment issues or whatever it was. And then you foster that dog back to normal health. The dog's a productive, happy dog running around, having a great time. And then all of a sudden you have to give the dog up. That's gotta be draining. I don't know anyone that fosters dogs, but that has gotta be draining as heck. Right? And it's the same thing if you're the foster parent for humans, for a child, right? Maybe the child was having a bad time where they were, right? I don't want to get into any kind of specifics. I want to try to keep the show a little more light, but, or maybe just, something that the parents just couldn't take care of the kid or whatever, right? And then you're the foster parent and you have the child and you see this child and the child's in your house for an extended period of time. It's so much so that they move past the time period where you're kind of a way station to the permanent home for the kid, right? And you start becoming more and more attached to the kid, almost as much, you almost feel, I guess, in those situations like you adopted the child. But then all of a sudden an appropriate home shows up. Some parents or a parent that can take care of the child. And they're ready to go, and they're good people. And now you have to pack this kid up that you become attached to and hand them off to the new parent, right? And the parent, of course, they go on to have a nice, long, happy, productive life, right? They may even find you again and say, thank you for being there for me. Life turned out great, right? I do know not people that foster dogs, but people that got a foster dog. And they take sometimes, if they live near where the foster home is, they'll take the dog back by the home to kick it with the foster dog parent or whatever you want to call it, and the dog says, hey, I know this guy, runs up, licks him and everything. But the dog also now knows it has a home. It visits, but it goes back to the home, right? Now, in those particular occasions, it makes sense. It's an animal, a living being, right, with some intelligence. Dogs are smart, right? Then you move all the way up to the top of the food chain to human beings. And of course, human beings, we're the smartest animal, right? We're the smartest, dolphins are right up there, but they can't drive cars, so the hell with them. And they got that stupid hole in the top of their head. You look silly, Flipper. You look silly. I better keep my mouth shut because I know that dolphins are smart enough to get revenge. So I just want to say one thing, dolphins. I'm just kidding. So if you ever see me in the water and there's some sharks about to kick my butt, please help out. I think that saved me. But the reason I brought that up was because I'm having similar feelings about my car. Oh, see, I just said my car. It's not my car anymore. I don't drive it anymore. It's safely tucked behind the house, right? Once again, the paperwork is on the table right in front of me. The keys on the table right in front of me. The title's in front of me. All of that stuff that I'm going to be handing over to the new owner. Ooh. But the thing is, it's a relative, like I said, which means the frequency that this relative comes to visit is going to increase because of the new vehicle to them. And also, I'm going to have to see the car on a regular basis. Is it going to be awkward? What about this person? Because when I decided it was time to move the car over, I stopped. I didn't neglect the car, but I didn't put as much work into the car as I would have if I was keeping the car. So there's a good possibility this person, my relative, might repaint the car. Whoa. Might reupholster the inside of the car. Ooh. Might make the type of repairs that I would have made on the car had it been still my car. Ooh. Right? There could be a time when I don't see this relative for like a month or so. And then all of a sudden this relative shows up at the house. Hey, yes. Right? You give them a hug. You hug the babies. Right? You high five the husband or the wife. I don't want to say the sex of this relative. Right? Who cares? Her husband. Okay. I might as well just do that so I don't slip up like an idiot. It's a lady. Right? And she comes over. Hey, yes. What's going on? Boom, 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 boom. Right? Hug the babies. Hey. Right? And you look at the car is sitting there. You ever see those movies where the person does something to themselves? They come back they're all polished up like a movie star and they have that music, the tinkle, that tinkle sound when their teeth tinkle and they smile. Tink, right? Look outside and the mighty Toyota Camry is all new, repainted, right? All new tires. Actually, she won't need new tires. I put new tires on it, but maybe she goes, you know what? Screw that crap. Even though there's a lot of tread on his tires, he's going to tell a story. So I'm going to buy new tires just for the story. Shut up, people. Back to me. Brand new tires, right? Hey, I'll give you a ride to the store. No problem. You don't have to leave your car parked out. I'll give you a ride. And I get in the car. All of a sudden, she's got a new sound system in the car. What? Right? Reupholstered the seats. What? Right? Brand new mat. What? Right? Looking there, right? The glove box opens up. It's double cleaned out. Not just cleaned out like I cleaned it out, but double cleaned out. What? Right? I never, after the first couple of air fresheners, I never really bought air fresheners for that vehicle. Now all of a sudden she's got some special air fresheners. What? She gets me a ride to the store, right? And I'm looking back at the car and the car's looking at me like, yeah, bet you wish you still had me now, don't you, punk? Which of course the answer would be, no, but still looks good, right? You've been there before where you just ran into an ex, right? And you remember what the way they looked like when they were with you, and they still look good. But for some reason now they look a little bit better. They look better than they did then, right? Not good enough for you to want them back, but they do look good, right? I've been that person. I've been the person, lady just dropped me like a hot brick on a cold Tuesday. Was just super duper cold about the dropping. It's one thing to break up with somebody, but to drop them like a hot brick on a cold Tuesday. She dropped my punk ass. Only thing she didn't do was punt me like in a football game and had the next girl who I wound up standing there waving her hands in the air and giving the fair catch sign. That's the only thing she didn't do. Did I mention that she dropped me like a hot brick on a cold Tuesday? You're daggone right. But I looked infinitely better when I ran into her again. I was in better shape. My health had improved. My career had continued to get a little better and a little better and a little better. I was not the same guy I was when she dropped my ass like, well, I think, let's all say it together, like a hot brick on a cold Tuesday. You know what I'm talking about. And I saw her looking at me. And this is someone I had had sex with thousands of times. So I know the damn I want some of that look. And she had the damn I want some of that look. I know the look. She tried to look away because she knows I know the look. She was like, damn, I want some of that back when we were together. And now that I'm actually 10 times better than I was before, I know damn well you damn sure want some of this, but you ain't getting it. And that's right. I know it gets to you. That's right. And I just happened to be wearing the kind of clothes she liked me to wear. Right? That's right. Let me take my hands out my pocket so I don't puff out the front of my pants. I want it to be nice and form-fitting. Do you remember the time when we fell in love? Do you? Remember that? You're daggone right. You remember it, baby. Keep remembering it. You remember, huh? You didn't want to use the camera to record me putting in that good work on you. But of course, we moved the big mirror around, put a couple of mirrors on both sides of the bed so you could watch the king go to work. Ha 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 ha. You're daggone right. Do you remember? Do you remember? I bet you remember. Do you remember, girl? And this is the part where I do that dance and Eddie Murphy gets mad and points. Right? But it will feel kind of weird having that car come back, right? But in the grand scheme of things, no matter what she does to the car, it will not be as good as the car I'm driving now. Oh yeah. I said it. But it is a weird thing how you become emotionally attached to things. Because I'm daggone sure emotionally attached to the car. Because that car, the mighty Toyota Camry, came along at a time when the stuff that I was driving before, how can I put this politely? Pieces of crap. You know how when you're driving on the road, when people are driving too close to your car and you're really, really nervous about being knocked off the road or bumped into and stuff like that, right? You know, that bumper to bumper traffic and you hope everybody's paying attention and you have that tension on you. And, that's what when you're driving on the freeway around a bunch of idiots. Sometimes you're driving on a road and it's a 2-hour trip on a country road or a 2-hour trip on a nice smooth road. Nobody out there, either it's early in the morning, late at night, or in the middle of the afternoon, not a lot of traffic. And it's the same length trip, but you're not tired. You just say, it was pretty quick. That wasn't a bad trip at all. And then all of a sudden you got to make that same trip during rush hour. You got to make that same trip when you're in a hurry. You got to make that same trip when it's nice and snowy outside where people's tires are sliding. You got to make that same trip when people are hydroplaning in the freaking rain. And all that tension is up on you. And the same trip feels like it takes 10 times longer and drains you out, doesn't it? Well, when you think of that feeling, that's the kind of feeling I had in the 3 cars before the mighty Toyota Camry. And it wasn't because of external things. It was because I had no idea whether or not this car was going to break down on the way to someplace or the way back from someplace. I only bought those cars as a stopgap because I needed to have a car and I needed to put some money aside to get a better car. And I kept having to get these stupid punk cars that tied me over until I got the mighty Toyota Camry, which, by the way, was a fantastic vehicle. The mighty Toyota Camry. I have no real complaints about the mighty Toyota Camry. And I damn sure don't have any complaints about my new car, which is, well, not new, but new to me. So the mighty Toyota Camry was the first car in a while that I didn't have any real tension when driving in it. Because I knew it wasn't going to break down. No. And I'm hoping that my new car, that's new to me but not new, it gives me at least the same type of service. I'm pretty sure that it will. But the time is coming. You know how kids get nervous? Some kids that don't like going to school get nervous the Sunday night before the Monday before they go to school. And then you have those other kids that can't wait for school to start on Monday, also known as the kids who were being beaten up Monday afternoon. I was one of those. Still mad at you guys for beating me down. It's not my fault. I'm smarter than you, Jack. Moving on. But it is weird. This time tomorrow, the mighty Toyota Camry will not be behind my house. That parking spot will be empty, probably occupied by one of my obnoxious neighbors. Not one of the cool neighbors. The cool neighbors know to park in places and not park in people's parking spaces, but the obnoxious neighbors, the minority, a small minority, but still are annoying. But this time tomorrow, that car will not be here anymore. And although technically it's not mine now, it still kind of a little bit feels mine because I do have the paperwork and the keys and I can look out the window and look at it right now. But this time tomorrow, it won't be there. And it's weird, right? So I just want to take this episode to say thank you to the mighty Toyota Camry for years and years of quality service. Thank you to the mighty Toyota Camry for getting me from place to place. Thank you to the mighty Toyota Camry for getting me to all the gigs that I went to. Thank you to the mighty Toyota Camry for all the years of service. I had relatives that were ill, as I talked about in both my podcasts. They've all since passed away, but that car got me to the hospital to take them to their hospital visits, got me to transport them to chemotherapy and to any kind of rehab they had to go to, got me to be able to go and pick up their medicine, got me to go to visit them on a daily basis because I was going back and forth between two relatives, put a lot of miles on the car because it was necessary to do the things that needed to be done. And with all the things that I was doing at the time, like I said, sick loved ones that I was helping to take care of, along with my uncle and obviously other relatives, but a lot of it was my uncle and me. Just not having the extra stress that I had with the cars before. Just imagine you're going to see a really ill relative, and in addition to going to see the ill relative and all the things that go along with that, you got to sit there and worry about whether you're going to be stranded there or stranded on the way back, or if an emergency comes, not the kind of an emergency that I shouldn't even say emergency, but you get what I'm talking about. Not the kind of emergency that will require an ambulance or the police, but the kind of, like an emergency below that level, but definitely an emergency enough where you do need to go from point A to point B with efficiency. And I never had to worry about that with the mighty Toyota Camry. So even though I don't wear hats, I do in fact tip my cap to you, mighty Toyota Camry. You've done very, very well. And I'm hoping for my relative who is your new owner / parent / person who is responsible for you. I hope you give her as many years of service as necessary for her, because she's essentially doing the same thing, taking this car from me and using it as a stopgap to go to the next vehicle that she wants to make a purchase, because obviously she's going to get this at the ridiculously deep discount of here you go. Right? But I just want to say thank you, mighty Toyota Camry. I appreciate you. To my new car, thank you. I appreciate the fact that when I walk away and you go, pop, because the alarm goes on, you follow that up with, hey, owner, nice ass. I did not know it had that feature. It does not have that feature. But in my mind, it's saying it, because in my mind, everyone that says that when I walk past, hey, dude, nice ass. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. I don't blame you. It just means your eyes work. This is what I sound like when I don't get enough sleep. Shut up. Folks, this is episode number 130. Thank you very, very much for coming back. Sorry I'm a little bit late. There was a technical issue yesterday. I was going to record the episode yesterday. It was a little bit of a technical issue that took so long to fix that I was like, look, it's already the next day now. I might as well just wait till tomorrow afternoon to record it instead of doing it now. So, hope you enjoyed it. I will see you again next time. Do me a favor. If you listen to this if you got to this far, if you have not subscribed to the podcast, please subscribe to the podcast. If you haven't rated and reviewed this podcast, please rate and review this podcast 5 stars. Oh yeah. Right? If you have a friend that you think would enjoy listening to this, please recommend this podcast to that friend. Oh yeah. If you know someone who just loves a man with a silky voice. Oh yeah, silky voice. Oh yeah. Then recommend this podcast, not just because of what I'm saying, but because listening to my voice is like listening to ASMR or a subliminal tape telling you that you're going to win and you're going to get $1 million. Rain sounds. You're going to win $1 million. You're going to be worth $1 million. You can win. Maybe I should stop podcasting and just do that. No. I will see you again next time. Much love to you all. Take care.